Sticking with healthcare, it is indeed a big week for pharma. Some of the biggest players are reporting their quarterly results this week, including Pfizer surpassing those Wall Street expectations and lifting its full-year guidance. But our next guest says smaller healthcare companies with more experimental offerings are an attractive space for investors. Stacey Sears is Emerald Advisors portfolio manager of the Emerald Growth Fund, and she's here now with more. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we just heard a little bit about one example, at least, of a big pharma company and kind of what it's up against. But many of them are up against this whole patent cliff situation, trying to build up this pipeline. So you say look on the other side. Look at the companies that are maybe the source of that pipeline.
Absolutely. We have seen a tremendous amount of innovation within the healthcare industry over the better part of our 20 to 30 years that we've been investing in that space, really catalyzed by the decoding of the genome in 2003, which identified over 8,000 genetic diseases. It was at that point in time we had the map, we had the key, and we saw innovation accelerate, and small caps have been a big part of that acceleration. So if you think about advancements in DNA editing, advancements in RNA editing, which are ongoing as we sit here today, and broader pursuit of orphan and rare diseases. That decoding of the genome has really enabled that, and small caps have been a big player in that. As a matter of fact, just if you take a look at 2023, approximately 2/3 of clinical trials were started by companies in the small and emerging biotechnology space, and approximately 56% of the new drug substances approved in 2023 originated within small and emerging biotechnology companies.
How would you characterize just broadly, Stacey, valuations this sector?
I think that's an interesting question. I mean, valuation has always been more challenging within the healthcare area, but I would say what is now a tailwind is that the sector has been underperforming over the last couple years. I think very much an inverse performance correlation to what we were seeing with interest rates and yields. So the fact that we're starting to see that move back in our favor, clinical advancement has really continued unabated, and we're looking now at a pipeline. I think you mentioned it. You know, we have large cap pharmaceutical companies that have close to a $300 billion patent cliff as those drugs move generic by the end of this decade. Historically, they've filled that pipeline with research being done within small cap companies. So we see an M&A tailwind in the area as well that could be emerging.
So you're looking at a few names that you think might be targets potentially. One of them is a company called Insmed, which actually has a drug to market.
Correct.
Is my understanding, to treat lung cancer in patients that haven't, where other treatments haven't worked. Am I understanding that right?
What they have on the market today is a drug by the name of Arikayce. It's actually an inhaled antibiotic.
Okay.
For lung infections.
Okay, so not lung cancer, pardon me. Lung infections.
Correct, which is about a $300+ million a year revenue business for them today. But what we're excited about was the recently released data, phase 3 data that happened earlier this year in a disease state called bronchiectasis. And what that is basically an inflammatory lung disease, which causes a significant amount of exacerbations, which essentially is a heart attack for the lungs, which over the long term can create a diminished lung function. So with the introduction of this phase 3 data, company had very strong success across all of those metrics, and we believe in our conversations with practitioners that the market opportunity that the company laid out at about $5 billion is understated. The physicians have a very high intent to treat. There is an unmet need, and we believe that the application of the drug beyond diagnosed bronchiectasis patients is broader, that we could see application in COPD because bronchiectasis could be an underlying condition as well. So we think that $5 billion is a low target. Company will file its NDA at the end of this year. We expect approval next year, and then they also have a very attractive pipeline they're working on in inhaled treprostinil for PH-ILD, and we think we're going to get data on that one as well.
What about, quickly, Stacey, Wave Life Sciences, which has already had a run?
It has had a run. The company in the last 3 months really has had 2 significant announcements as far as clinical progress. The first in Duchenne muscular dystrophy, where they are demonstrating dystrophin, that the body is generating dystrophin. So I should step back in that they are developing drugs based on RNA therapeutics. The second advancement, and this was the most significant value driver, was they announced results from their first in-human proof of concept trial for an RNA editing. So they're actually able to go in, they adjust your RNA so that if you were unable to produce a certain protein or overproducing a certain protein, that they can manipulate that outcome. And the great thing about RNA editing versus DNA editing is that it's not permanent. So you could actually dose that on a sub-Q basis monthly and bi-monthly. So we had their first trial results in trypsin deficiency, which is an accumulation of protein in the liver, which can lead to lung-related diseases. So very significant advancements, notable. They're leading the space. There's no one else that has had proof of concept in human data, and we're really excited about the opportunity. That program is partnered with GSK, but we believe in the upcoming Analyst Day that they're having here in this week, we're going to see company-specific additional targets that they're going to own 100% of. So we believe that there is still a lot more value to be had here in this very innovative life sciences company.
Stacey, appreciate your time and those picks. That was great.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.